It's no small feat to fly the President of the United States on the most renowned and likely most significant airplane in history. A 6-story aircraft that can withstand nuclear explosions and costs more than $200,000 per hour to operate. Trust us when we say that Air Force One must be flawlessly equipped with unbreakable security, the highest level of luxury, and cutting-edge missile defense systems. This contains all of the fascinating high-end military features. It seems logical that the Flying White House has become a media sensation. Come on, let's walk inside and take a look before entering the beautifully designed 3-level cabin and discovering the aircraft's special features. Fasten your seat belts. 2 of them are Air Force models. What is the Air Force then? Before we get into the specifics of the aircraft, the typical Air Force is what one might picture. All you have to do is take a close look at the American flag on the jet's tail or the huge letters that read United States of America to recognize its distinctiveness. The White House actually has 2 highly customized Boeing 747-200B series aircraft that are comparable to one another and operate as Air Force One. Their tail numbers are 28,000 and 29,000, respectively. There isn't anything else quite like it. Although there is, the term Air Force One wasn't initially used until President Dwight Eisenhower did so in 1953. Despite the fact that President Theodore Roosevelt took his first flight in an aircraft in 1910. Returning to that peculiar moniker shortly, President John F. Kennedy used a jet built particularly for presidential use when traveling in 1962. It was a 707 that had been modified. Baby blue, which was Jacqueline Kennedy's favorite color, was chosen by the plane's designer Raymond Loewy because it matched the colors in the presidential seal. Since then, everyone from President Obama to Presidents Nixon, Reagan, and Trump, as well as everyone in between, has been borne by the renowned wings. The current pair of Boeing jumbo planes made their maiden flight in 1991 under George H.W. Bush's presidency. It should not be a surprise that modern airplanes are pricey given the great security and comfort features they are equipped with. According to rumors, Trump and Boeing negotiated a tacit deal capping the cost of 2 new Air Force Ones at $3.9 billion. Trump was even credited by Boeing for striking a favorable agreement. The revised pair, though, would cost the Pentagon $5.2 billion. According to the Defense Department's first official report, the 2 aircraft are fundamentally identical to a typical commercial Boeing 747. They are gigantic, being 3 times as tall as giraffes and 1 city block long. Each one features 4 engines that together generate 56,000 pounds of power, giving the aircraft a top speed of about 700 miles per hour, just shy of the speed of sound. An entire 53,611-gallon tank can carry the airplane over extended distances. Contrary to popular opinion, Air Force One isn't actually a plane because it can fly halfway around the world and cruises at 45,000 feet rather than 30,000 feet. And Air Force One doesn't exactly relate to this Boeing or this identical one. Both a name and a point of reference. If the president were to travel on the F-22 Raptor, it would appear that it would replace Air Force One. It need not even be a high-end Boeing or cargo plane. It would also make sense if he boarded a B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. All crew members and air traffic controllers are made aware of the moniker, which is merely the radio call for any Air Force vehicle transporting the president, in order to avoid any mistake with other nearby flights, and to guarantee that the president's plane's safety is always given priority. Whenever the president commutes an Army vehicle, Army the First is the aircraft's name, whereas the Navy makes use of Marine One aircraft. The president's airplane carried the same call sign as an Eastern Airlines commercial flight back in Eisenhower's administration when the plane began moving erratically. Due to the fact that they were both in the same airspace, a new and improved method was immediately necessary. The center level serves as the primary passenger area. The highest level is set aside for the intricate communications equipment, and the lowest level is often used as a cargo room. However, as you're about to discover, the interior of Air Force One aircraft bears absolutely no resemblance to that of a regular 747. As if that wasn't enough luxury, the president's personal bedroom, bathroom, exercise area, and office are all located within the jet. The majority of the furniture was handcrafted to the president's preferences by professional woodworkers. Traveling reporters are given their own place, while senior staff employees have a designated workspace of their own. The enormous jack can comfortably fit 26 crew members and 70 passengers together, a sizable conference room that serves as both the president's dining room and the focal point of the middle level. Aside from the president and his staff, no one else has a clear understanding of how these components go together, despite the fact that we have a strong concept of the layout. And even visiting politicians and high-level journalists are not allowed access to some portions of the jet. We do know that the plane's crew offers 24-hour meal service, so the president is not receiving a bag of stale, excessively salted peanuts for lunch. You can verify it for yourself if you don't believe us. The president can order gourmet dishes or some good old-fashioned fast food, and devoted cooks will make it. The employees at the White House must pick markets at random, shop covertly, and never make the same purchase from the same store twice in order to prepare meals for the president. To shield the president from the possibility of a planned poison attack, this is done. Around 100 people can be fed at once by the team, and up to 2,000 meals can be stored in the space. If something goes wrong, there is a whole pharmacy, a defibrillator, oxygen, and much more in the specialized medical room on board Air Force One in case emergency surgery is necessary. A staff doctor is always there and travels with the president. Since having all this equipment is meaningless if no one understands how to use it, the president can contact almost anyone in the world at a moment's notice on board thanks to the 85 telephones, collection of secure two-way radios, variety of fax machines, and ultra-high-speed onboard Wi-Fi that are available. The planes are also outfitted with $19,000 televisions so that passengers can stay up to date on events taking place on the ground. The 26-person Air Force One crew is expected to operate with a high degree of professionalism and security. Each employee is picked from the military and has their past thoroughly investigated. Every single military candidate chosen for the position must pass stringent background checks and have exemplary service records. Because this is not your normal job, it is always difficult for the president to say goodbye to his loyal employees after more than 4 years of service. One unique aspect of Air Force One that sets it apart from other types of aircraft is that it is not reliant on airport resources or personnel, which greatly decreases security risks. Because of its incredible capacity to refuel in midair, the presidential plane technically never needs to touch down. Due to the abundance of some of the most cutting-edge safety systems, the likelihood of anything bad happening to that jet is extremely remote. The aircraft are outfitted with retractable stairways, baggage loaders, and 3 entrances in case one is compromised. Armed windows on Air Force One enable it to deflect any surface-to-air missile and fend off bullets, but because of its specially armored exterior, it can also survive the ravages of nuclear bombs, fire white-hot flares to confuse any approaching missiles that are looking for heat. If the missiles are infrared-seeking instead, they can be jammed and deflected using IRCM jammers, which are essentially special infrared lights. So what do you think about the secrets behind Air Force One? The president's travel is so safe everywhere. Please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.